pretty bold, aren't we? I'll take care of you myself.
Reload. 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 Reload.
Heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun. Heavy machine gun. Rocket launcher. Heavy machine gun. Heavy machine
様、どこにいるの？
Position 2. Start.
Thank you.
Laser gun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Iron Lizard.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Firebomb. Shotgun.
Thank you.
Hello guys and welcome. We're here for the STPL Season 4 Grand Finals. We are going to have Wico versus SouL in the finals. I actually forgot to update this, but it's all good. We have a very good set of lineups today. I'm really looking forward to being able to bring these games to you. Hopefully the games are as good as I'm hoping they will be.
Frequencies open.
You can never be too sure, but thank you Cake Sauce for the host. Obviously we saw Wico take down Naz in the semi-finals in the ace match, if I remember correctly, with, I think it was, who lost? It was Terra, I think, lost against a Zerg or a Protoss. It was a Protoss, I think, which gave Wico their spot in their first STPL finals. SouL are here for the 4th time in a row. They were seeded in through the group stage where they went undefeated once again. So they are definitely going to be a strong contender here for the finals. Let's have a look at the players we're going to have, and then we can see what's coming. So it is a best of 7, unlike the best of 5s we've had before. We have, starting us off in our first 5 games, we have Beast versus Muteli in a ZVZ. We've got a TVP between Scan and Stalk on Blindside. We're going to have a ZVP between Spire and Mix. We've got a ZVT between Saxry and Parkji on Charmander. And we've got a PvP between Mighty and Haya on Desert Dwellers. And then, of course, if we swap it over, we can see in game number 5... game number 6 even, we'll have another ZVZ. Wait, no, this hasn't... this isn't working right now. It's all good. But the final game is Zealot versus 973 in a ZVZ, and that is on Pathfinder. A couple of things maybe going wrong, because, yeah, the overlays broke. I must admit, like, I've not been the most prepared this season for most of the stuff that I've been doing. I've been, you know what, I'm not going to go into that stuff right now. Oh, thank you, Cake Sauce, for the sub.
Matchups, tasteless poggers.
Yeah, I'm hoping these matchups will be good as well. Let's have a look at the players we've got coming. And then hopefully as we go through, the overlay won't break anymore. But we're going to start off with Beast here for SouL. Beast has done a pretty good job. He's gone 5 for 3 overall. Probably losing more than a lot of the SouL players. But he's been up against some pretty strong opponents in his time, losing to Terra and LML, though, 2 of our foreign heroes in this season. No, sorry, was that this season? No, La Mancha was season 3, but he did lose to Terra this season, so Terra did a pretty good job. Customuse wants to bet, but apparently he can't because I made him a mod. So that's good. And also Lucky Noob isn't here to make the polls, so I don't know who's going to do that, but let's have a look at Beast's opponent. It is going to be the Zerg player Muteli for Wico. Muteli has shown pretty damn good games across the STPL so far. His only losing game recently as well being a ZVT that was on Neo Moonglaive to Cryok. So I think these two are going to have a pretty good matchup here. It's going to be on Rosen Bridge. And I can let you know as well that it's island versus island. So there is there's no positional imbalances or anything. Oh, and Lucky Noob is here. I just didn't realize. But yeah, it's Rosenbridge, island versus island in the ZVZ. Both players are not going to know where their opponents spawn, but they know they're both on islands themselves. So we're going to see some very, very quick muteless play here. And I wonder if the game can go long enough if we're going to get some weird Hive ZVZ. Because I think if there's one map that can bring it, it's an island map. And this is what we have right here, right now. So let's get into it. It's game number 1. It is, it's Beast versus Mutely on Rosenbridge. And the game sounds are very high. If I, can I even get to the menu through Shield Barrier? Yes, I can. Wait, no, I can't. Oh my goodness. It's just Shield Battery is loud. Okay, let me turn Shield Battery down. Yeah, I decided to use Shield Battery for the first time to cast, and I didn't actually check the sound levels before I started, because that is what I do. I am the most criminally underprepared person in the world, but starting us off here in the top right-hand corner, fighting in the blue for Wico from South Korea, it's Mutely. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner in the orange, fighting for SouL. It's Beast. Yeah, so I decided to use Shield Battery for the first time to cast. Now, one thing with Shield Battery is you have the grayed out minimap, and also the grayed out Fog of War. Okay, now that's a bit weird. Maybe I shouldn't use Shield Battery because that's going to be a little bit weird, like strange. Probably should have tested this before, but we shouldn't see that very often. It looks like it tries to put the pre-order skins on the Hive for me because I have the Hive. But yeah. But Shield Barrier, if you don't know what it is a private server set up by Tech24, or is it Tech17? I couldn't remember. And Tupocalypse from Team Liquid. There's also been some other people that have been helping them out as well. But overall, it's a good project. Like if you want to sign up, you can play it. It's got matchmaking at the moment for the weekend. It's in beta at the moment, but we've got a long time to go. It's Tech27. I thought it was. No, I thought it was Tech24, didn't I? Oh well. I'll probably switch back to Battle.net after this, because if the Hive's going to be bugging out and stuff, we don't know what else is going to go wrong. And given it's the Grand Finals, I don't want to mess things up. Now, has Beast never played this map before? Beast has built 6lings. I think Beast has messed up. I don't think Beast realizes what map he's on. Oh, Beast subbed in, didn't he? Am I remembering that correctly? I think Beast subbed in for someone. Oh. Well, that was... was that really the game? Is that what happened in game 1? Well, I guess Wico's going to take a 1-0 lead. Beast, unfortunately, subbing in and not checking the map before he played. Gives up before the game really starts. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but Beast was subbed in at the last minute. I can't remember who it was that couldn't... Oh, Shine couldn't play. So... You say serves me right for choosing a lame map. The map isn't lame in this case. That's just him not knowing the map. Okay? I'm not gonna take that. That's a bit stupid. Like, he could have seen the minimap before he started. But either way, that is going to be it for game 1. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes with game number 2. I'm gonna be a little bit longer because I have to load up Battle.net and everything, so just give me a couple of minutes. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going into game number 2. Game 1 was a little bit of a weird one. We had a sub who didn't know the map, so it happens. That's going to give Wico a quick lead in the finals, but we've got SouL here standing in Wico's way. Sorry, we've got Scan here. Did I say SouL here? We've got Scan here for SouL. He's ranked 2 in the STPL overall, has a ridiculous win rate of 84%. He's recently qualified into the ASL round of 24. And he is an absolute monster against Protoss here in the STPL. Although he did lose his last TVP, that was against Dragon, where he lost, if I remember correctly, against DTs. So DT's a little bit of Scan's kryptonite, I would say. His opponent is going to be STPL. STPL's only played once this season, and he did play a PvZ. But overall, STPL, kind of not sure how good he's going to be, what he's going to be doing in PvT here, but Wico have been known to be a little bit aggressive, so I wonder if we're going to see some DT play or some early Reavers. The map we're looking at is going to be Blindside. It's one of our better, well, I would say this is probably one of the best maps we've had added. It's a really, really good map. It's led to some incredibly good games. The games on this map often skew a little bit longer. TVP, the average duration is 20 minutes, which is pretty insane. So hopefully we're going to have a nice long game here. It's been fairly balanced in terms of matchups. So looking forward to it. Let's get into it. It's game number 2. Oh, and I need to update my overlay to make sure I'm actually looking at Brood War. Otherwise you guys aren't going to be able to see anything. There we go. Starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the Red Terran fighting for SouL from South Korea. It's Scan. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom middle in the blue, fighting for Wico from South Korea. It's STPL. Now this isn't the pro gamer STPL, but we can see that Wico are setting up again to be a little bit aggressive. We've got a probe heading out on the map. This was one of the first probes. And we're going to have a proxy coming in against Scan here. Now, Scan has got a lot of experience against proxy play. So I do wonder if he's going to go scout for this, especially on this map as well. This is a very proxyable map. There's lots of places you can hide buildings. Custom use. Do you know, like, if you know this person personally, can you ask them why they changed the name from Disco to Stalk? Because Disco is such a cool name. I'm not a fan of Stalk as a name, given it's already used by someone else. But Disco, that's a sick name. Okay, so the probe comes in. It comes in a little bit early, so I think Stalk is... Well, sorry, I think Scan is probably going to realize that something is maybe awry. I mean, it did look like he was going for a gas steal, but that was a little bit too slow for a gas steal, so Scan should understand that there might be some hidden building somewhere, and he's going to send out his SUV to scout now. So I do wonder where he's going to look. He's actually checking in his natural to make sure there's no proxy buildings. Is he going to go and check the third base, though? That is the big question. He's checking the normal scout path, so no, he's not going to find this proxy. And right now, he doesn't have his SimCity. The SimCity only just now starting up. The first Zealot is already going to be on the way. Yeah, custom use. This map in Best vs. Free was really, really good. That was a really good game. I'm not going to talk about how many viewers I get because okay, here we go. Let's have a look at the game first. So we've got Zealot coming in. The Marine is going to have to fall back. Already taking a hit. Definitely not what you want happening as a Terran player. Taking a second hit, taking a third hit. The Marine dies immediately to the probe and the Zealot combo. And now the next Marine that spawns is going to be in a lot of trouble. And so is Scan here. Scan gets his he gets away with only taking a hit from the probe. I definitely think he'll be happy with that one. I think 3 or 4 SCVs have gone down already. Zealot going after some more SCVs and the Marine. And this is definitely looking a little bit rough here for Scan. Second Deeper being added on to help with the SimCity here. But he's going to have trouble finishing off this factory if his SCVs go on the wrong side. And when you're having trouble finishing your factory when Cybercore is up and range is on the way, you know the Dragoons are coming, and when you just have Marines, Dragoons are very, very powerful. Looks like one of the Marines going to get caught off guard a little bit. Another SCV goes down here, and Stalk is looking very powerful so far in this game. Yeah, so just to let you guys in a little bit of information, I actually got some hate mail this week. My first ever in 3.5 years of casting. And they complain that I don't talk about the game enough, which is fair enough. So looks like we are going to have Scan try to push forward, but this ramp is really annoying to deal with. You don't get vision of it. So unless the units come too far forward, the probe kills the Marine in its last shot before it dies. So all of a sudden, I mean, I say all of a sudden, he's been in a lot of trouble before. But Scan is actually in a really rough position right now. This is not nice to play from. He does have his SimCity, but the later the game goes on, the more annoying this is going to be because his tank is always going to spawn here, and it's going to have to walk around, or walk around this way, and that is not what you want later on. Fujikura saying he's got a lot of hate, he just doesn't email it to me. Oh my god. That's so mean. You take all my money and then you complain. What the hell was that? Okay, so the SCV stayed alive in the base for a very long time, so he didn't get a good scout. He does not see the Citadel coming up though, which is kind of important. Scan is finally able to push out of his base, although he does have to be careful. The Zealot's falling immediately though. Also, it was a TL private message, by the way. It wasn't an email. No one knows my email, so... it looks like the Marines at the front trying to soak up some damage. The tank in a lot of trouble here. Can't afford to lose this first tank. If you lose the first tank, you are in unbelievable amounts of difficulty. But looks like the mine's going to come in here, help defend the natural, and that should mean that Scan is able to send an SCV to go and expand. But looks like 2 of the mines don't go off, or 1 of the mines don't go off even. He did get the micro in. And once again, Scan is going to be facing DTs here, but look at this. The Dragoon, the first one going down, 2 of them going down to the mine and the tank combination. But looks like one of the tanks is going to go down as well, so Stork is still in an okay position. And if he can keep killing these mines like this, there is going to be nothing back at home to defend against the DTs. We do not have an engineering bay, we do not have an academy. And only now, at 6 minutes, is the command center starting. Scan is in a very difficult position. Look at the micro from Stork here. Getting rid of those mines. One of the Dragoons falls, though, to do that. Definitely not worth it. This is definitely not worth it. He needs to be careful, and he is just going to lead Scan into his proxy building, so... yeah, it's definitely not stpl@gmail.com. I should actually make something like that, but I don't have one. But look at the first DT gonna start to come in here. The Dragoons wanting to Bisu it up here. Does manage to get the mine. Scan must realize there's something bad coming. Is he built? Is this an engineering bay? No, it's a second factory. Engineering bay is coming in the main. So as long as he can get a turret up, as long as he can keep his mines alive for long enough, he can still hold on here. But Stork is definitely the one with the advantage. Scan needs to make sure every single mine gets used absolutely perfectly here, because if a DT gets into his main base, the game is over. And oh my god, that could have been a very bad mine drag. It did actually hit one of the tanks, I think, and now the tank's in trouble. There's no mines to defend against this, so he is going to have to pull away from his natural. The second tank goes down, the mines get eaten by the Dragoon, but the DT is in the main base. Okay, the first DT does go down. That is Scan's only saving grace so far in this game, but this command center is in jeopardy. The natural is lost, and Stork is about to expand. His probes transferring away. There's actually a DT running up from his main base. That is how heavily committed he is here. But Scan has to hold on. He has to get a turret. Like, does he have a turret in his main base at all? Scan is in so much trouble. Oh my god, the mine track could be horrific here, but looks like he's not going to be able to get it, but does kill 2 of the SCVs. And the third SCV doesn't finish the turret either. Oh, this is looking so rough for Scan. If Scan can come back in this game, he is going to prove why he's number 2 in the STPL, but things are not looking good. DT hits one of the mines, but is there a mine in the main base at all? No, there isn't. Scan, skimping on turrets here, is going to find himself losing SCVs, and he can't use mines to defend this. Not only does he have no mines, but he's also going to lose all his SCVs. So he has to be careful. This is incredibly good bugging out though. This is so hard to do, but he's basically making the DT waste as many attacks as humanly possible. He is playing this so incredibly well. Oh my goodness. And he's going to finish the turret. And with that turret finishing, he is going to be safe. And that is all he could possibly ask for. He will probably get supply blocked by losing the depot, but that is the least of his worries, because he is going to save his mineral line and save his position in the game. The academy coming up here at the front wall as well. Not really any reason to build it here other than the fact it's by a turret, so he'll be okay. Looks like mines being used to clear out the DT. Nicely done, and saves his second depot as well. Third base coming in here for Stork. Second pylon there as well. He'll probably add on a forge, which he already has done, and add some cannons to help defend against those units. But here we go. Looks like DT going to try and get in here. Looks like the turret in a perfect position to help defend against this. And that push in has cost Stork a lot of money. That is the kind of move that Stork needed to make to let Scan back into the game. And now Scan is going to be able to fly and take his natural. Yeah, apparently I don't talk about the game enough, and I talk about my sad, lonely, nerdy life too much. So, I mean, okay, so we've got vultures. They're going to clear the pylon. Not the biggest of deals here, but basically, if you genuinely don't like what I talk about when I'm casting, it's perfectly fine for you just not to watch, you know? It's just the way I cast. I solo cast, I do everything. It's hard to stay concentrated the whole time. Now, this is observer speed. So we've actually got Stalk going for observer speed this game. Do we have a Stargate coming in? No Stargate just yet, but 4 gateways being added on, so it's possible we will see a Stargate and Arbiter Tribunal coming up soon, but looks like Stalk just wants to build a lot of gateway units. He could go for Storm and play the kind of... It's weird to say this is a modern style, because this was the style that Kingdom popularized, where you just go for a lot of gateway units with a lot of Storm. Yeah, I could take the feedback and improve, but like I can't concentrate 100% of the time all the time. Like, that's just not possible. If I'm having a bad day, I concentrate less. That is just how it works. And the thing is, because I solo cast, that becomes a problem. But mine's being cleared in the middle of the map. Vulture's still running around, just keeping an eye on the amount of bases that Stalk has. He wants to make sure he doesn't get caught off guard with too many expansions. We do have that 4th expansion though coming in here on the left side. And Scan is in quite a bit of difficulty here. He's still not got too much. He does have a dropship though. Dropship definitely going to be important, but going to fly straight into Stalk's observer. So Stalk is going to immediately pull his Dragoons back. Now this is actually going to be 8 Vultures dropping off into the main here. Now 8 Vultures could do a lot of damage if he gets in at the right angle. But looks like 4 of the Vultures, or 3 of the Vultures going to be heading over to the natural at least, while 4 drop into the main. Or is he just... I guess he's just not going to drop the Vultures from over on the right hand side. Now look at Stalk's unit positioning. Perfect to help defend against this. But once again we see this drop spot being abused by our players here. 2 probes falling already. Can he get a 3rd? It's going to be a little bit rough. Stargate is coming in, so we will have the Arbiter Tribunal in. 3rd probe goes down. 4th probe. 5th probe. 6th probe. 6 probes, realistically, is it enough at this stage in the game after the amount of damage that he's taken? I wouldn't say so. Looks like Scan is going to lose some tanks as well, which is going to put him a little bit further behind than he was before. But oh, he accidentally moves the barracks instead of landing it, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Stalk obviously doesn't want to lose any Dragoons here. There we go. Also, 2 Curbs just said like the worst joke I've ever seen in my stream chat. But here we go, more probes going down. 3, 4, 5, 6. If he can keep doing damage like this, 7 probes, 8 probes. 8 probes is more than enough, and he almost evens up the worker count. Now, of course, he is 2 bases behind, and with 4 Nexuses, as long as he keeps up his probe production on all of them, he's going to be able to reproduce very, very quickly, which it looks like he is going to be able to do. But still, that is the kind of out that Scan needs. It's only 14 minutes into the game. Let's check his upgrades. I believe he's now going into +2, so his upgrades, along with everything else, are a little bit later than you would normally expect. But given the situation he's been in, it's very, very understandable. Now, if Stalk can run into a few more mines as well, then obviously Scan is going to be very happy about that. We've got some Vultures going around on the left-hand side. They shouldn't do any damage, though. There are a lot of cannons here. Now, if he could drop some tanks in this location, that would be incredibly good. But his dropship, I think his dropship may have gone down. I can't see it anywhere at the moment. But he could build another one if he wants to. Although, given the fact he is going to be up against Arbiters, you will need EMP and a lot of vessels, because there's 2 Stargate Arbiter right now. +1 attack is coming on in, and we have the massive, massive gateway flood. Now, unlike a 4-player map, one of the problems Protoss have on 2-player maps is they run out of space for gateways. They don't have the ability. To essentially build gateways in another location and go for a flank on the big 3-2 Terran ball that will eventually be coming. So that is one benefit that Scan will have. Now, obviously, turret's going to come in here, going to push away the observers. 3rd base, though, is slowly flying over. There is the dropship. It did make it back home. It was just kind of hidden amongst all the SCVs. I mean, Stalk is doing an incredibly good job of keeping Scan completely blind. Look at the map. Look at the map vision. Stork can see basically the entire map right now. I think he... Did he get... Wait, did he get observer vision? Is that observer vision? This is huge, right? Yeah, scan without mines in the middle of the map is completely in the dark. He's having to use his scans to see what his opponent's doing. But where he's only on 3 base, he has very limited scanners. And there is going to be a lot of arbiters coming his way soon, so he is going to need every scan to fight the army if you can. Okay, let's keep an eye on how this engagement is going to go. Tanks are spread very, very nicely, but there's no vultures in front of them, so Zealots getting on top of absolutely everything. Nice target firing, though, by Scan so far, killing all of the drones, pretty much. But the real story is the Zealot. Scan is behind already, and if he loses all these tanks, he is going to be sent back to the Stone Age. And he is going to be in a lot of trouble, but looks like he does save 5 of them. Great positioning by Scan. They're using this bit of terrain here to his advantage, and he trades incredibly efficiently. That was incredibly well done by Scan, really proving why he's so damn good and how he got into the ASL as well. But Scan is on a timer. His minerals in his main, they're drying up. His minerals in his natural, because he took his natural so late, are still fine. But he's going to have to find a way to a 4th base at some point. And on this map, that can be very difficult for a Terran. You can go down here, but then you have this ramp to defend and this ramp to defend, and it can be so hard to defend all of it, especially when you don't have mines in the middle of the map to see what's going on. The 5th base coming up at the mineral only here for Stork. And Scan looking to try and put some more mines down, but the observer usage, the mine clearing by Stork has been absolutely impeccable this game. Two arbiters still coming out 2 by 2. I think this is actually the 2nd set of arbiters we've got now, so we've not got too many of them on the field yet, which is a good move by Scan, or good move for Scan, should I say. More mines being added on, observers being cleared out as well. That's definitely going to help him out a little bit later to take this 4th base if he can. But Scan has to be careful, because the longer this game goes on, the more recall energy there's going to be, and if you get recalled in your main base, I mean, you can come in from every single angle. Like, you can already see that he's got 2 vessels just sat here, just waiting for a recall to come. And that's a lot of stuff you don't have in your army now. Vulture getting a kill on the probe down here in the bottom right, stopping the 6th base from coming up. We take the little graces as Terran players. 2-1 is done. 3-2. Oh, here comes the recall. The EMP does not go off in time. And this is that moment that we have to worry about as Terran, because the armory's getting focus is not the +3 attack one, which is going to be a little bit of a bonus here for Scan. But there's going to be a lot of depots dying here. We've got Storm Energy here, which seems to have been used already, unless he just never actually got the energy. But it's actually a good cleanup by Scan so far. Not too bad whatsoever. Not losing too many depots, which means he's not supply blocked, although he has just become supply blocked now after that one. But Scan got the defense he needed. Now he's taken his 4th base, but we can already see there's units heading down here. Now is Scan going to be able to revert in positioning quick enough to be able to defend this base against the push of the Protoss player? We've got Stork taking his 6th base incredibly close to his opponent. But this is going to be rough. How does Scan get back here to defend this? He's going to have to send his vessels in. He's going to send his vessel back though, doesn't want to lose it. Going to basically sack the 4th command center because he didn't really have a choice. EMP coming in on the 1st vessel. Can he get another EMP? Doesn't have the energy, and that means there's going to be a massive stasis here. The 4th base is going to go down, and Scan is in a lot of trouble. This is going to be rough here. Looks like the Arbiter going to be taken down though by the good Goliath and turret usage, but no, it gets away, but mines being used to great effect there to do a lot of damage to the Protoss. But yeah, Scan is struggling to take a 4th base here. He has to make something happen. His 3-2 upgrades are delayed. I think that was only one. Yeah, he only had 1 armory. And that means he's not got any... Oh, sorry, he's got a second armory here. So 3-1 is about to be finished. And that is a push timing. Can he make it work? He's actually pushing on top of mines. If there's vultures here, he is going to be in a lot of trouble. But great EMP on the two arbiters there to take down all the energy. But that is not the only arbiters remaining. There is an arbiter coming in from the main base. We've got a big army down here. Here it comes straight into the main, and Scan is not prepared this time. He did not rebuild his mines. He did not rebuild his turrets. And now he is going to have so much trouble. He is going to lose every single depot here. And I think this could be the nail in the coffin. We've actually got an arbiter coming in here. It doesn't have a stasis for the ramp, but if it did, that would be incredibly powerful. But it looks like Scan is going to fall to Stalk here. Disco balls of Scan, unable to get the EMPs that they needed. And 2 recalls just proving too powerful. No 4th base is remaining for Scan. Stalk is now up to 6 bases. And I mean, this is just too much to recover from, surely. I mean, he is going to clean up all the units in his base, but once again, once the units in his base are cleaned up, either another recall is going to come in, or we are going to have his 3rd base get attacked, and there's just no defense here. Scan just cannot get in a position to defend all his bases at the right time. Now, if Stalk does keep throwing away units, he is starting to run out of money. His 3rd base has dried up. His 4th base is about halfway done. So if Scan can hold on against the constant onslaught here, maybe he can make something happen. Nice positioning by these tanks, but unfortunately... Oh my goodness, no. Oh no, this is going to be horrific. This is going to end the game. If he stasises this ramp, there is no way out. And there we go. Scan's units are completely stuck in his main. He cannot get out to defend his 3rd base. But it looks like Stalk is going to push into the natural here. Could this be a big mistake? Oh, this is so rough. That stasis was such a good move. Unfortunately, the dropship here, actually, he could start airlifting units out of his main, but that's a little bit too much effort, really. Storm coming down on the SCVs. This could be the nail in the coffin here for poor old Scan. Scan's done his best, but a single Zealot going to get on top of all the tanks here. They cannot fight back. It's tanks coming out of stasis, but the units are still stuck in the main base here. And this is rough. Poor Scan. The 4th base is going to be under a lot of fire in just a second. We're going to have another stasis coming in as well. There's just too much Protoss, not enough Terran. The units are finally coming out of the main base here, but is it a little bit too little too late? It's only a matter of time before Stalk can rebuild his massive army. He's already back up at 200 supply. He's got so many gateways. He just has so many bases. He's got so much money. And poor Scan just did not know what hit him this game. He has been...
Oh yeah. Come on. Come on, party. Oh, come on, bet. Oh yeah. Come on. Hey. Oh yeah. Hey. Oh yeah. Hey. Oh yeah. Go. Hey, DJ. Oh yeah. Hey. Oh yeah.
Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to be going into game number 3. Wico are currently 2-0 up against our 3-time champion SouL. It's going to be up to Spire here to keep them alive in SouL here. Spire, a very, very good Zerg player. 9-3 overall, 82% win rate and a 75% win rate against Protoss. Rank 3 in the STPL. I didn't realize he was that high up, but I guess his recent games in February were what pushed him up a bit. So we are going to have a Zerg for SouL now. That is going to be our second Zerg, and his opponent is going to be Mix fighting for Wico. Mix hasn't played too many games in the STPL so far, only played one. It was against the Terran who he beat. So not sure how he's going to go here, but let's have a look at the map stats. Neo Moonglaive is going to be the map of choice here. Neo Moonglaive, one of our 3-player maps. It's led some really good games this season and in Season 1. Rank 1 in the STPL is Noob, I believe, still. He went back up. Scan is rank 2. Although Scan may have dropped after this set of games. But either way, Neo Moonglaive, very, very good map for ZVP. We've had 18 games on here. It's 9 for 9. Let's see who's going to come ahead in the grand final of Season 4. This is probably going to be the last time we'll see Neo Moonglaive in the STPL for a bit. So let's make it count. Let's get into it. Okay, starting us off down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we do have the brown Protoss player, sorry, the brown Zerg player fighting for SouL. It's Spire. And his opponent spawning up here in the 12 o'clock location in the yellow, fighting for Wico. It's Mix. Also, just a shout out to the people who are watching on YouTube. I can see there's 9 of you this time, so thank you. It's also on Twitch as well if you want to join the main chat. But I am reading both chats, so if you do say anything, I will see it. Thank you for the kind words. Now we do have a Mix going for wall in at the start. Very, very standard Protoss play. Are we going to see a Hydra Bust? Caster Muse, you're unable to bet because you know the results, so that would be incredibly unfair. Also, don't you have like a ridiculous amount of channel points anyway? I don't think you betting would make any difference. Someone's bet 22k for Spire right now. It's 22k versus 673. If Mix wins, whoever voted for Spire is going to have massive, massive egg on their face. Oh, Caster Muse doesn't know the result this time. Well, that's actually interesting. Usually you know the results. Oh, it's now 12k versus 21k. Now, we've got a hatchery coming up after an overpull here for Spire, so very, very standard Zerg play here. Gateway first for Mix. Now, one thing that Protoss struggle with on this map is there's a second entrance, so usually you see a second pylon come up and a core being placed here quite early. Ah, Fuji submitted the replays this time. I didn't even realize I just downloaded them. I just want to say, like, while we're getting into this game, I'll say this at the end of the season as well, like when we've finished everything, but a massive shout out to all the people involved in actually running the teams and submitting the replays and like grabbing all of the people, like wrangling them, like, and getting them to play their games, because if it wasn't for those people, team leagues wouldn't exist. That includes BWCL, that includes STPL. Like, in us all, we've got Lings coming in here at the front. Let's actually keep an eye on this first, and I'll go into my off-topic rant soon. But Lings on the gateway, definitely a lot of trouble here for our Protoss player. But that probe got a moving shot kill on a Zergling. That is not something you see all day. Now now. There is 4 Lings in the main base. Looks like some more Lings coming out the front. 2 Overlords sat here already, so as soon as the Corsairs come out, they're going to be having a field day. Yeah, SouL have lost before. Wait, no, I don't think they've lost. Have you lost a match in STPL? I think you have, right? You've lost at least 2 or 3 matches, I think, overall. You won like 40 or something, but let's not go into that. Here we go, Zealots at the front, taking out some of these Lings, but definitely the Lings having a better engagement so far. The Zealots very low on health. And the way this game is going so far, it looks like Mix could be the first Wico player to lose a set here. Because basically, this is rough for poor old Mix. He doesn't have a cannon yet, and there's so many Lings heading up towards him. Speed is done. He only has 2 Zealots. I think he may actually just lose the game right here, right now. Ling's very, very strong. Once again, Zerg showing that they don't need high tier units to win. And here we go. Looks like the Lings are going to clean up all of the probes. There's 9 drones against 11 probes. The cannon is going to die before it can finish. And with that, I think that's going to be game over. Some Lings even kind of gathering themselves up far away to come in for a counter, but he doesn't even need them because he has done far too much damage already. The Nexus was cancelled before it finished. And this is not looking right. Oh, this is not looking good. Brat Bolker saying in chat, looks like Kogut is right. What did Kogut say? Yeah, here we go. Looks like 2 of the cannons going to go down. Spire is going to take his first win here for SouL. And there is absolutely nothing Mix can do about it. He can build Zealots as much as he wants. But 1 Zealot at a time is not going to kill this many Lings. GG, Mix taps out, and Spire wins game number 3. But we've got a series. No, they didn't necessarily win because they uploaded the replays. Like, they've uploaded the replays when they've lost before, and Fuji is just incredibly organized, so that's why he uploads every week, along with Caster Muse, because they're always the first to submit. Yeah, they always submit first because they're organized. It's good. Never have to wait for SouL on anything. They're always the first to submit their lineups as well. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. It's game number 4 in a moment. Okay guys, welcome back. We're heading into game number 4 between SouL and Wico. Wico are still at a 2-1 lead, but SouL are sending out one of their strongest players here in Saxry. He used to be on SKT, so therefore he's one of my favorite Zergs, just because, you know what, I love SKT. I always loved SKT, they were my favorite team, and even though they're not a team anymore, I still support the players, so I'm going to be kind of rooting for Saxry here because it'll tie up the series as well. It is a best of 7. So it's not like the winner of the, if Wico win this game, they'll win the series. There's still another possible 4 games to go. So we still have a very long night ahead of us, depending on how the games go, of course. But Saxry hasn't lost a game so far in the STPL. He beat Striker, Ogzerg, and Sandra. This is going to be his first ZVT, though. And Saxry, at least historically, his ZVT was never the best. He's got a lot better. He's got a lot better recently, and he has been doing really well. Thank you, Team Think Quick. I can't see your thing, but thank you for the raid. Hopefully your stream went okay. I saw you had some really good matchups today. We're gonna have ParkG here for Wico. ParkG's only game was against Koga, which was a TBT, which he won on Pathfinder. That was actually a really fun game to watch. STPL is the Shinhan Tank Pro League. It is a team league with teams both from outside of Korea and Korea, and it's been good. We're on our 4th season. This is the season 4 final. So you have picked a really interesting time to join in. Well, let's have a look at the map we're going to be going into. It's one of the maps that was made specifically for this tournament. We had a map making contest where Minerals made this map here. It's called Charmander. It's got a Charmander in the middle, and it's really sick. So it's all good. But Scan versus Stalk was actually a fake Stalk, but this is the real Saxry. But Charmander, really fun 4-player map. We've not had too many games on here overall, especially in TVZ. It's 1-1 with Mutali taking down Hit 'em Up and Koga taking down Eridor. So let's see it. It's a decider of Zerg versus Terran here. SouL are currently 2-1 down. Can Saxry make it up? Can they take it to a game 5 with the scores tied 2-2? Or are we going to go further ahead in this best of 7 with SouL being very far behind here? Let's find out as we get into it. It's game number 4. It's game number 4. We've got the Dang Zerg music, but starting us off down here in the bottom left-hand corner in the pink, starting for Wico here from South Korea, it's ParkG. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner in the blue. It's the ex-SK Telecom T1 Zerg. It's Saxry. It's all best of 1 and it's a best of 7. So in 7 games, all of them are best of 1. Usually the format is best of 5, and then it's a best of 1 for all 5 games, but because it is the grand final, we do a best of 7 to get more maps and more games. Historically in the STPL, SouL have won all 3 seasons so far. They won in the ace match in game 1, or in series 1 and series 2 against White Clan, where we saw players like Best playing against Noob, which was incredibly good. That was such a good ace match. If you want to see any really sick games from the STPL, go watch on YouTube, youtube.com/STPL TV. Go and watch the Season 1 Grand Finals, because oh my goodness, the ace match of that finals were incredible. But this is a TVZ, it's on Charmander here. Not really a map we've seen too much TVZ on, so it's kind of cool to see it. Got a hatchery coming in first for Saxry. Looks like he's going to send out a drone scout as well, just to kind of keep tabs on what his opponent's doing. SouL are essentially now, I think they are like a really old school team, but Fujikura, who is also known as Dazaneri in the chat, is running them now. I don't know if he was running them before, but they have a Korean and a foreign roster. They have some of the best foreigners of all time, including Saxary and Bonneth on their roster, and they also have some very, very strong Korean players as well. The foreign players on their roster didn't really want to play too much in this season because the maps were kind of all new. A lot of people kind of weren't too interested in playing them, at least on SouL's foreign roster, so their Korean players stepped in and played most of the games for them. But still, Dazenary is saying he was one of the leaders of SouL back then, one of the 3 leaders, but he's the only one left of SouL. Now TBZ, of course, is kind of the fan favorite matchup. It's not my favorite matchup personally, but still really, really cool. Yeah, the thing is, the map pool this season was a little bit strange, but there we go. The Zerg music is playing, but I can barely hear it. The Zerg music sucks, man. No offense to any Zergs in chat, but that's what it is. Now, if you are tuning in from Team Thick Quick... How can I not say that right? If you're not tuning in from TTQ, or if you're tuning in from TTQ and you've never heard of the STPL before, STPL has always kind of gone out there with maps, but this season I maybe went a little bit too far, and I run a map making contest, and we had 6 brand new maps that no one had ever played before in the season, so that's why a lot of players were a little bit put off. Next season will be a little bit more standard, but there will still be the STPL flair, but I think before Season 5 we're going to have a lot more, like, not show match style things, but like money matches between teams. Just to kind of show off more maps and just have a little bit of fun, because doing a full season is quite a lot of effort for the teams, the leaders and the players, as well as me. And if I start when I want to, it's going to finish in the middle of summer, which is not good for anyone. So we'll probably have another season later in the year, but before then we'll have a lot of like mini events and stuff. That's the plan anyway. But essentially, we do have a $2,000 prize pool up for grabs on this season. The prize pool goes to the top 3 teams, so Naz, who made it to the semi-final and lost, will be making some of that money, and then SouL and Wico will take the remaining amount as well. Yeah, for watching, having custom maps was really cool, but obviously for playing, for a lot of players, they don't get much time to play, so playing on brand new maps is a little bit rough. Then again, BSL is using a custom map this season, and I don't see many people complain about that. It's all good though. That's only one map of the map pool. Everything else is really standard for BSL, but you kind of need to. The thing is, like, just while we're waiting for sort of stuff to happen in this game, obviously we've got the Spire coming in, +1 attack is coming in as well. But with a team league, because you choose what players go out on the maps, you can have imbalanced maps and it doesn't matter. Because you just don't send out a race. Like, if a map is bad for Protoss, you just don't send Protoss there. You know? That's the thing about a team league, whereas a solo league, you don't have that ability. Like, if you put, like, players who obviously... what am I saying? I forgot what I'm going to say. Let's go back to the game. But either way, we've got a lot of mutless coming in here. This is very, very good timing just before the turrets come up, so we're going to have a lot of damage being done here by these mutless. +1 attack is going to kick in eventually, which means he is going to look to be incredibly aggressive. Now, Saxary, of course, does have literal pro gamer level muteless micro here. It was played on turn rate 24 as well, because these are 2 South Korean players. So PUBG has got a very strong opponent here, and I'm not sure how he's going to live up against Saxary, because Saxary is incredibly good. Now, that was a really good move. Pulling out the bunker, getting a few extra kills on the Lings. We've got another turret going down, though. Sorry, guys. Medics being left behind, though, so these Marines are going to be very, very damaged before they get to the engagement, and that is rough. Yeah, but we're up to 9 muteless now. We've not got many turrets. There's no turrets defending the barracks either, so this is a little bit rough position-wise for ParkG. But he is going to be able to hold on, I reckon, without losing too much. Has taken a little bit of SCV damage though, +1 attack, still not coming in. But it's still doing enough damage anyway. We've got Medic falling, 2 of the SCVs building the barracks falling as well, but a couple of muteless falling at the same time. People in chat saying the maps weren't radical enough. What we're going to do is we're going to have every single map next season be played on Battle Royale. Is it Battle Royale? Bloodbath. Bloodbath. Looks like the Mule is doing more and more damage. ParkG in so much trouble. He just can't get enough turrets. He needs some turrets up here or something maybe. But it's so hard. He's taking so much damage. His Marines are just unable to do anything here. And Saxbury is just so far ahead now. He's got ahead in drones. His third base is up already. He's mining from his third gas. And it would not surprise me to see the Queen's Nest up already. But looks like he hasn't built that just yet. But with this third gas up and mining, Saxbury is in such a good position. And there we go, GG. ParkG taps out and Saxbury wins game number 4, tying up the series 2-2. And SouL are on the comeback train. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 5 between SouL and Wico. We're 5 games in. We're tied up 2-2, which is really, really sick. We've got Mighty here starting us off for SouL. He probably has the most dapper photo in the entire STPL. I love this photo of him. It's so, so good. I don't know why it reminds me of Oliver Twist. But there we go. Mighty is an incredibly strong player. He's won all 6 of his games against Protoss, and within 10 games he's only lost 1 of them, and that was against Famasi all the way back in March last year, just as England had got into lockdown. Pretty much, okay, so we're actually basically on the anniversary week of his loss last year, so are we going to have a curse come in? Is he going to lose on his loss anniversary? Is that what we're going to see? Not too sure, but his opponent going to be higher, fighting for Wico. He has not lost a game either. He's played against 2 Protosses and beat them. He's played 5 games overall and won all of them. So definitely a strong opponent here for Mighty. The map we're going into is the map with the STPL logo on it. It's Desert Dwellers. We've had a lot of games on here. Games seem to tend to be a lot longer due to the map layout. If you get past the initial like 5-10 minutes of the game, it's very hard to kill your opponent. So there we go. We're probably going to see a relatively long PvP here unless we see a little bit of early aggression. We've actually had a lot of PvPs on this map, which is really surprising given how good Zerg have done against Protoss here. because if Zerg are doing that well in ZVP, why would you send Protoss on this map? I don't understand. Like, I guess it's just how it works, you know? There we go, let's have it. It's game number 5, Mighty versus Haya, here on Desert Dwellers. I can't believe I just made that noise. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand corner, fighting for SouL. As our Magenta Protoss, it's Mighty. I can't believe I made that noise. I picked up my water glass and dropped my coaster on myself. And I just made a weird noise about it. But starting us off here in the top right-hand corner in the teal, fighting for Wico, it's Haya. We have got a lot of bets coming in here this time. Oh, no we haven't. We've just got 18k already on Mighty. So someone is, Ivaniox is incredibly certain Mighty is going to win this game. If someone bets like 10 for Haya, they are going to win big from the betting, but that's how it is. Now, I do wonder if we're going to see mirror builds here once again in a mirror matchup in the STPL, because PvP, I swear Protoss players, I mean they are linked by the Kala, right? Because they always go for mirror builds, all the time. And it's almost perfectly timed here as well, like even the mineral count is very, very close. Also, I can't believe Edgewoda is gonna mute me and watch Love Island. That's rough, man. Love Island is terrible. To be honest, Love Island should be bad. Like, it should be actually taken off air, because what happened was like multiple contestants afterwards have committed suicide, as well as one of the presenters. But that's a story for another time. Mighty gonna scout after Haya, but he's gonna go for the quicker scout path by taking the top route. Cybercore coming in for both players here, so it is a perfectly mirrored build. And once again, like, the minerals are actually almost perfectly in sync. Haya's minerals are slightly lower because he sent his probe a little bit sooner. I think I just blew some people's minds by saying about what happened with Love Island, but either way, probe coming into the main base here. For both players, not really too much actually happening and won't be happening for a while, but looks like we're going to have Haya skipping a Zealot. Whereas Mighty did build one, so Mighty's probe is going to be alive a little bit longer in the base than Haya's one should be, but Haya can micro against this as long as he wants. But this means the Dragoon is going to be a little bit faster, and so is range. We can see the range is already starting up here. Not started yet for Mighty because he did spend that additional 100 minerals on that Zealot. So Haya going to have a little bit of an advantage as we go a little bit further into the game, but not really too big an advantage that it's going to make too much of a difference, I wouldn't have thought. But Mighty is hiding his probe. Now he could actually proxy a robo here, and that would be incredibly powerful, but looks like Haya going to be looking around for the probe. Like, where is it? He knows it's close by somewhere, but doesn't quite know where to look. We've got a Citadel coming up for Mighty, so Mighty is going to go for DTs here, whereas his opponent is going 3-gate. Nope, 2-gate into Robo, so as long as he gets an observatory, he is going to be safe. Haya going to find the probe as well, and that is incredibly important. You want to make sure your opponent cannot see what you're doing, because if your opponent scouts your tech, if he sees you've got a Robo, he just doesn't build DTs. Although I guess you kind of have to. You're kind of locked in at this point, but you're going to play a little bit differently if you know your opponent has an observatory or has the ability to get an observatory anyway. Interestingly, Mighty pushing very far forward with his units. If a probe came in behind, it'd be able to scout his base. That's kind of risky, actually, leaving your units out in the middle like that, but Here comes the Templar Archives here for for Mighty, and here is the Observatory for Mighty. Higher even. I'm good at getting the names wrong, but we know what we're talking about. Robo Support Bay coming in as well. Now, looks like Higher wants to push forward. Now, that is going to give Mighty the chance to go and scout. And that was definitely a little bit, I would say, misplayed there by Higher, but he is going to be able to get Dragoon back here to possibly block the probe. So it's going to be rough. Oh yes, he gets the probe before it goes in. That is incredibly important again. Now, in case you're wondering, this isn't the Pro Gamer Hire, although the Pro Gamer Hire has played in the STPL before. He played under the ID Mulgogi for White Clan when they were still in the STPL a couple of seasons ago. We've also had Best of Mind play. We've had Shine. We've had Noob, Zealot, Yol. I'm trying to think of all the pro players we've had. Action played as well. I don't think Shuttle ever played, but he was on their roster as well. I really wanted to see Shuttle play in the STPL, but my clan dropped out because of the timing of everything. No, this is real Mighty. This is real Mighty. Top Korean amateur. Here we go. Probes go. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh no. Where is the observer going? Is there a second observer about? Has he just thrown the game? What? Why did the observer fly away? Oh my goodness. There's a Reaver here, but the Reaver's gonna die immediately. Oh my goodness, this is not what he wanted to happen. The one, okay, he saves the Reaver, but he took way more damage than he should have done. Now there should be a shuttle coming in soon to help this Reaver. To be able to put on a little bit of pressure. We've got the natural coming up here for Mighty, the natural coming up here for Higher. Once again, almost perfectly timed, completely even supply, and completely even worker counts as well. The only difference is the tech. Storm coming in though, so it's going to be Storm against Reaver. Which one's better? There's only one way to find out. And that's to fight, and that's what we're going to see here in this game. It feels kind of weird to think that we're at the end of Season 4. Like, Season 4's not been that long, given the fact that Season 1 lasted over a year. Season 2 was around 13 weeks. Season 3 was around 14 weeks. I think this has been around 15, 16 weeks overall, and it feels like I've been casting forever. But it's going to be strange, going back to not having STPL to cast every week. I don't know. The usual schedule for the STPL, if you've never seen it before, is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so... Steelix saying cast something else. I don't know, I kind of want to take a break for a bit. I'll probably do some like mini events in between Season 4 and Season 5. But you won't see the end of STPL, there'll be like for money events. What I want to do is kind of do some like fan favorite matchups for money. So it gives more teams a chance to win some more money as well. And there is no way I have the time or energy to cast the ASL. No way. I, at one point, decided to cast Muse Star League because I wanted to help out Muse and cast in English, and I realized it was just too much. Guy in the chat as FFAs could be fun. To be honest, I thought about like applying to cast for StarCast, but at the end of the day, and this is just while we're waiting for stuff to happen in this PvP, sorry for going away from the game, I don't have the time or energy to cast much. Like, I don't know, I enjoy casting the events I run, But I have very little enthusiasm to cast anything else, and I think it's because I run the events I feel more invested in doing it. Okay, DT coming in here to the third base. 4 kills on this DT so far. Only 3 of those have been probed so far. 5 kills, 6 kills, and the third base is cleaned up. That is going to give Mighty a slight advantage by only a couple of supply and by only 1 probe again. But Haya does have the base advantage right now. Bradley saying I should make a British cast of the BSL finals or Japanese one. That's kind of funny. いやー、俺の日本語はそんなレベルじゃないんですよね。キャストできないんですよね。配信できるけど、まあね、難しいんですよね。I could do a British cast of BSL, that'd be funny. But then they've got Ziggy to cast in British. But there we go, looks like we are going to have Mighty try and push into the third base. He wants to make some damage happen, but doesn't quite do it. So Mighty going to fall back here. Now Haya, I don't believe has his Templar Archives just yet. He's just now finished, he's only just now getting Storm. So the later this game goes on, the more energy that Mighty is going to have. I wonder if he's gone for the energy upgrade, the Kadarian Amulet. Doesn't look like he has, but that's actually a very, very good upgrade to get in PvP and ZVP. Just because it does allow you to have less Templar, but the same number of Storms, and it makes it a lot easier to micro. Edgewoder says, wonder why Kinks never got in bed with Blizzard. I tried, but then I never got anything back, and I never found out how to do it. Because I asked Zero what he had to do, and he never told me. Although, I did get to go to Blizzard because of I did get to go to BlizzCon because of Blizzard, and I made friends with the developers, so I'm happy with that. I got, to be honest, I probably benefited the most because I got a trip to LA. I don't know, I got very, very lucky there. I don't think I deserved that, but that was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. So there we go. But here we go, SouL coming in here. This is going to be a Storm drop coming into the main base. The probes are incredibly stacked. Oh, Mighty could win the game with this. There's no reaction. It's so much damage. Oh my god, he's lost so many probes, but he's still close in probe count. But this is going to be the next moment. Another set of 2 Storms going to be coming out here. Oh my goodness, he just stacked all his probes on the thing. It's now 58 probes against 39, and with that fell swoop... Wait, that's a... Why is he not killing the Archon? That's not his Archon. He has to kill it. He's got to kill the Archon. The Archon's going to come out and kill stuff. Oh my goodness. How did he get away with this? How did he do it? The Archon, 24 kills, 25 kills from the Storms. Oh my goodness. The Zealots just didn't care. But now Haya is in a lot of trouble. His Reaver in the middle of the map. Even this probe is getting away with murder. It's just stood there. How is he getting away with this? The Archon's still alive. 28 kills. Oh my goodness, and here we go. Looks like we are going to have an engagement in the middle of the map. Storm coming in at the front, Storm coming in at the back as well. But I would definitely give the edge to Mighty in this engagement. He has the better positioning, and he's going to be able to push back Haya. But Haya, while this has all been going on, does have a 4th base. He's rebuilding his probes, and he is far from out of the game. Let's check the upgrades. +1 attack for Mighty, +1 attack for Haya as well. Luckily enough, they're on the same upgrade, so I wasn't technically wrong. But it's going to be high ground versus low ground here, and that is not what you want to see as Haya. Haya going to be forced into a bad engagement here to try and push back Mighty the best he can. The Reaver at the front going to be doing a little bit of damage, but taking a lot of damage as well. And it looks like Mighty's army may be a little bit too big, as Haya is forced back once again. Now there are some cannons here. They are going to take out one of the observers. But this base is going to be forfeit, and that's another lot of probes that are going to go down. Mighty is getting further and further ahead. His supply is getting very, very far forward, and that means he has a massive army in comparison to his opponent. There is Storm here, but there's no Storm energy. Losing 2 High Templar before Storm is done is the worst possible thing you could do. There we go. GG. Haya taps out. Mighty wins game number 5 and takes SouL up 3-2. Now if SouL win this next upcoming game, That means we are going to have SouL win their 4th finals in a row. But can Haya's not playing again. Can Wico win game number 6 and take us to SouL's 3rd Ace Match finals? Let's find out when we get back after this short break.それでは始まりましょうか。決戦のゲーム6。これが最後のゲームなのか。Let's find out if this is going to be the final game. It's game number 6 of the grand finals of STPL Season 4. We have SouL against Wico. SouL have won 3 games in a row to bring it back from a 0-2 deficit. Are they going to win their 4th game in a row here and close the series out 4-2? Or are we going to see Wico fight back and take us to an ace match? We'll have to find out as we get into this. But starting us off here for SouL is going to be Zealot. Zealot, a very, very strong third player for SouL. He's got an 80% win rate overall over 20 games, which is ridiculous. He's not done the best in ZVZ though. He's actually lost more. I think most of his losses are from ZVZ actually. So only a 60% win rate there over 5 games. But let's have a look at his opponent fighting here for Wico. It's going to be 973. Now 973 isn't really a build you can do in ZVZ. Both of these players are incredibly aggressive Zergs. And we haven't actually seen 973's ZVZ so far this STPL. So let's find out how he's going to do on the map we're going into. It's going to be Pathfinder. Pathfinder, obviously incredibly fun. We've had a lot of really good games on this map as well. If there's one map I really, really want to bring back again, it's Pathfinder. Whether or not I'm going to bring it back in Season 5, I'm not sure, but Pathfinder is one of my favorite 3-player maps, and there is a damn good reason for that, but it's going to be a ZVZ. ZVZs on this map tend to be a little bit faster given how strong Muteless are here and how much airspace you have around your main, but let's find out. Let's get into it. It's game number 6. Can Wico hold on, or is Zealot going to push the knife in and twist it to win the series for SouL and win their grand finals 4 times in a row? Let's get going. Okay, starting us off here in the 12 o'clock position, fighting for SouL. His team is on match point here in our best of 7 grand finals. It's Zealot fighting for SouL. Now his opponent spawning down here in the bottom right hand corner, fighting for Wico. In the orange, it's 973. Now, both of our players incredibly strong here, as I mentioned before, incredibly aggressive Zerg players as well. Zealot is one of the only few people who has actually managed as an amateur player to get into the ASL. He's made it in there twice, if I remember correctly. And both times he played incredibly aggressive builds and did, unfortunately, if I remember correctly, fall both times in the round of 24. But just to make it into the ASL is incredible. Was there a time he made it to the round of 16? Am I misremembering? I cannot remember. But this is, of course, our final, well, possible final game of the series, depending on the winner of this. It is a best of 7. If SouL can win here, they will win 4-2, matching their score that they had against IRK. I think it was 4-2, or is it 5-1 against IRK? I can't remember. But if 973 can win here, they will tie up the grand finals and take us to an ace match, which I think we're all kind of rooting for, right? Apart from Fujikura, probably, because he wants to win, and so does Castamuse. 973 is apparently the champion of the Jinsangye Star League, which Afrika runs for amateurs. That's kind of cool. Didn't know that. Jinsangye Star League. Am I pronouncing that right? Jinsangye. Jinsangye? Okay, we do have some initial links coming out here for 973. Is playing a little bit more aggressive than Zealot is. Zealot going for a faster expansion. Now we should have Ling. He's skipping Ling speed to go for an earlier lair. So these Lings aren't going to be the be all and end all of the game. It's going to be the lair follow up, which is what he's going to try and attempt to win the game with. Castamuse, why would you invite Artosis, man? Is it because he doesn't lag? Like, I don't know. I'm not really, I don't get it. I guess, to be honest, it's good for the league, so maybe inviting him would be good, but I don't know, it just feels kind of unfair if Artosis gets in and like someone like Bonneth doesn't. But it's probably lag, right? Because I guess Artosis and DeWalt have better pings to Korea than anyone else. But either way, Ling's falling back here for 973 as he realizes his opponent's got a decent number himself. He saw the natural, but he is going to be behind. Artosis did beat Ruin, and then he like reveled in it for like a month or something. Yeah, Bonneth is laggy, that's the problem. But either way, we're going to have Zealot coming in with his Lings. Can he break the ramp? That is the important question. Looks like 973 very, very good at his Ling positioning. Although he's definitely not getting the better end of this engagement. Zealot doing a very, very good job juking in and out with his Lings. Although, overall, the concave will always beat the convex. And as I say that, the sides change hands, and all of a sudden, 973 is in a lot of trouble. Spire coming up, Hatchery coming up in the main base as well, so we're kind of all in here for 973, because he is going to be relying entirely on his Muteless winning him the game here, because taking an expansion when you're behind is almost impossible in ZVZ because of the power of the Muteless. Yeah, Bonneth can't play in Korean time either. What? I wonder what DeWalt's time zone is. But either way, we've got the Lings and the drones coming up here to fight. The drones actually doing a lot of damage. Really, really helping these Lings out. That went a lot better than it should have done. But using Lings with drones with minerals as well means he can mineral walk back if he wants to. Now there is a Sunken. Nice defense so far here by 973, but obviously 973 very, very far behind. Zealot 10 supply ahead already. But the one thing is, Zealot does not have a Spire just yet, so as long as 973 can hold on, as long as he can get Muteless up here, he will have an advantage. Now the Evolution Chamber coming in here, so Zealot isn't even going to try and go for Spire straight away. He is going to use the... oh my god, is he actually... does this break the mining? Yeah, his gas is not mining efficiently. The Sunken has broken his gas mining. Oh no, that's tragic. He can't mine like this. That is definitely a problem. Yeah, he needs to basically make something happen here because his Muteless are not going to do anything. He's not going to have the gas to be able to deal with the Muteless either. And you can already see he's putting more and more drones on gas because he knows it's the only way he can get decent mining. And that's something you can't afford to do when you're on 11 drones. Yeah, that Sunken placement, if it was just one hex down, would be a little bit better. It's so good to defend. But the Sunken with the spawning pool and the Spire has created a wall in. Now, two Muteless here are going to try and do what they can. The Spire is coming. Well, no Spire actually. It's just going to be a Spore Colony coming up. Now, we can find damage here and there. And that is a valid thing here. Now, Ling speed is coming in. The 973 is probably going to give up on gas. And that's exactly what he's done. He stopped mining gas for the time being, and he is going to go all in on Lings off of 2 hatcheries. Now, this does have the chance of working, but there is a Spire coming in, so he's on a timer. If he can get in with enough Lings fast enough, we have had a lot of Spore Colonies built, which are going to do absolutely nothing against the Lings. And there's not that many Lings back here, but Creep Colony coming in. He knows. Zealot knows there is Lings coming, so he is just going to build 2 Sunkens here. And there, oh my god, he's even going to cancel one because he is that certain he's going to build an Evolution Chamber. I don't think this is going to work out. Looks like Zealot may have just secured his team a victory in the Grand Finals. Maybe a little bit of nerves coming in from the champion of the Jisange Star League against Zealot here, but that Sunken is worth its weight in gold. One of the gases will be taken down. But this gas is inconsequential. His opponent doesn't essentially have a gas right now. He is on a timer. As soon as Muteless come out, the game is done. And this is looking rough. Oh my god, 2 Scourge chasing away the only 2 Muteless that he has to his name. Looks like Ling's going to try and come in for one last hurrah. But I don't think it's going to work. The Muteless can't get away from the Scourge either. They can't actually do any damage. There's very little they actually have the ability to do here in this game. And as long as Zealot can hold on to this onslaught, he should be perfectly fine. The Evolution Chamber actually being killed in the main, because I think he messed up his gas mining as well or something. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the end of the game. Even the Scourge being used on the Overlords now, so there's no units coming in. Looks like the Lings trying to come in, trying to do damage. Are they even going to be able to kill the Sunken? There's so many Lings here from Zealot, so much defense. The Sunken holds. And this has surely got to be the end of the game. There is absolutely nothing 973 can do. He's killed the Sunken, and he's mining gas again. But is it too little too late? That is looking rough. It looks like we do have more Lings coming in. Obviously, the more Lings that come in, the more Lings that are going to be forced from his opponent. But Zealot is going to have the edge in the air war here, because I think both of those Muteless did fall down before. And it's just a matter of time. Looks like Ling's going to try and come in as a Concave versus a Convex again, and Zealot is eating them for breakfast here. And it really does look that this is checkmate. It's not someone's friend from the Czech Republic who plays chess. This is actually just the Czech Republic. It's not the Czech Republic, it's actually just checkmate. Yeah, looks like the, I think as soon as these muteless hit the base here, he's going to probably tap out because he has absolutely nothing he can do. He is just going to be losing all of his drones. He didn't go for an evolution chamber, and that's a little bit rough. There we go, GG. 973 taps out. Zealot wins game number 6, and he wins the series 4-2 in favor of SouL here in the grand finals of the STPL season number 4. So just while I add the final win, let's have a look at the stats page. And that's not coming up, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out. We're all looking good. We're all looking good. There we go. I'm just going to add the wins to the overlay and get everything ready. But that was a good finals. I think it was a lot closer than... well, to be honest, IRK versus SouL, the score didn't look close, but it was incredibly good. Obviously, it would have been nice to see an ace match, but ZBZ is very volatile, and if you mess up a sunken placement like that, you are going to be in a lot of trouble. So there's not really much you can do there. It's just how it is. It's how the game works. Both teams fought their absolute best, I think. We had some incredible games. Stalk versus Scan, I think, was probably the best one. But yeah, you had 2 ace matches versus White in the finals, which was incredibly good. They were both really, really fun ace matches as well. So let's have a look at the results. I'm not sure how well the results are actually going to work here because I can't remember how I've set this up and if it actually works. But basically, game 1 and 2 went in favor of Wico with Mutali taking down Beast and Stalk taking down Scan. That was Fake Stalk, of course.
I dare you.
Thank you for the donation. Braino Jackman means a lot. We had Spire bringing it back for SouL against Mix. Saxry bringing it back again, tying up the series against ParkG. Mighty winning game number 5 to give SouL the edge. And then finishing everything off here was, of course, Zealot against 973. Coming in clutch, winning game number 6, winning the finals 4-2 for SouL, and that is going to make SouL our 4-time champions, which is pretty insane. Pretty damn insane, but still very well deserved. They are incredibly good. That's actually, you know what? I don't know if that works. No, we don't want that. What am I doing? Yeah, so we're going to go back to this screen. I don't have my VR headset and stuff plugged in, so we're not going to do that stuff, but I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who tuned in throughout this season. A massive thank you to our sponsors, of course, Esport Fund, which is a fantastic sponsor. They are a great sponsor for esports events. They're not only doing Brood War, they're doing Warcraft 3 as well. And overall, they're some of the most generous people in the scene. They really are helping Brood War be as good as it is. They're increasing the prize pool so much. Of course, a massive thank you as well to all of the people who donated to help us reach our $2,000 prize pool goal for this season. There will be a there will be a season 5. I'm not sure when. It's probably going to be later in the year, just because I don't want to start a season and then have everyone disappear in summer and make it impossible to play again. But we're going to do the best we can to get the best we want, and overall we'll do some like mini events throughout the year. And then we'll do some different maps as well next season. So once again, a huge thank you to every single person who's tuned in and watched the stream, because you've kept me company this entire time. A massive thank you to all the players as well, because without the players we wouldn't have games to watch in the first place. A massive thank you to the map makers who made 6 of the maps this season. That's Minerals and Gosomi. And a massive thank you to the captains and staff of the teams, who, after like the very first few weeks, when essentially I ended up like hanging around more often at the game time, it's like wrangling cats, right? Watching all the teams like try and organize everything, it's essentially impossible, right? It's amazing. There's so much stuff going on. There's so many people talking. I've got no idea how they managed to do it. But they managed to do it. They managed to stick to the rules for the most part. We had no bad colors this season. And honestly, without them, the STPL wouldn't be possible. So please thank all the teams. A massive congratulations, of course, to SouL for becoming our 4th time champions. I do wonder if anyone is ever going to be able to beat SouL. Maybe we need to do something about it. I'm not too sure, but either way, they've led to some fantastic games throughout the season. We've had some upsets. DeWalt, of course, taking down Shine on the Mancha. That was last season. Let's not talk about that game, but that was incredibly good. We had Scan being taken down by Eriador on Frozen Bridge. We had some brilliant games this season. Yeah, the SouL Tank Pro League. Yeah, we need to get esportsfund.ru team in the STPL with like Flash. Oh, Flash is going to the military now, so I don't know. But we need the ASCL team. But
easily amused, huh?
thank you for the anonymous gifter who gifted Cadenzi a tier 1 sub. Now she can use some cool emotes. But I will be back at some point soon with some show match events. We will probably do that SouL Foreigner versus SouL Korean lineup event as well, because SouL's Foreigners, you didn't see much of them in STPL, but they have some of the best foreigners in the world. They've got Dandy, they've got Zeki, they've got Bonneth. Like, honestly, their foreign lineup is ridiculous. And you know what? Just having a SouL versus SouL lineup of, like, mixed would be incredibly good as well. But that's going to be it from me. I'm going to go chill out for the rest of my evening. Keep your eyes tuned for some more events coming up from the STPL. I'll post them on Team Liquid when I've decided what they're going to be. And then when I have full news about Season 5, I will let you all know as well. I also need to speak to Esport Fund because I saw they've only got $5,000 left. So I need to get some like applications in soon. Otherwise we're going to miss out this year. So lots of tournaments being supported by Esport Fund. Once again, a massive thank you to Ross Brain as well, because he gave us $1,000. And yeah, it's incredible the amount of work that the Esport Fund do. Corrupted Cup 2021 is coming. It's called the Corrupted Cup still, right? Or is it Russian Cyber Games now? I saw the post about it. Am I imagining things? Was that confirmed? Did I see that, or am I just making stuff up? I swear I saw a post about that recently. I don't know. But either way, all hail Russ Brain, as Cadenzi says. But there we go. That is going to be it from me. Saying that again, I'll see you guys next time. Oh, just a shout out as well, if you want to check any of the VODs from this season, click the links below the stream for YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter as well. You can sub on Patreon, but of course we're going to have a little bit of a break. So, but all the Patreon money for this from now on is going to go towards the next season, most likely. I'm not really too sure what we're going to do with it just yet, but a massive thank you to all our patrons as well. I'll see you guys next time. If you're watching this, you're watching the STPL. Hopefully you've been enjoying what you've seen so far. If you want to help me make more STPL content to bring more tournaments to you, please support us on Patreon, which you can find up here. And also, there's so many different things you can get through Patreon. One of the main and one of the easiest ones to get is, of course, access to all of the replays of the STPL so far. We've had some amazing games, such as some of the games you can see just over here.